Hello, everybody. It's Mr. Maximo here, Vinny Sandhu for the European Cricket Network with another match preview for a European Cricket Series match. And I'm very excited because there's a brand new week coming in European cricket, and we're off to Rome, Italy for a 7-day European Cricket Series. And we're doing something a little bit special with the match preview videos this week as well. We're having what I'm calling Powerplay Monday. So I will preview all matches of Monday, the first day of the tournament. It gives you a chance to get to know some of the teams in Group A. Then I'll also do 4 videos on Thursday, another Power Play day, when we'll be introduced to the teams from Group B. So this is a preview for match 1 of the tournament between Royal Parma and Kingsgrove Milan. And this is coming to you from Rome on Monday morning, the 2nd of November, starting at 8:15 GMT, which is 9:15 AM in Central Europe, and it's 1:45 PM in India. And you can catch the action on Fancode if you're in India. And if you're outside of India, you can catch it on Sportsflick. So announced on the weekend was a brand new partnership between European Cricket and Sportsflick, the sports streaming platform. So as a very special offer for our viewers outside the subcontinent, you can sign up with the promo code CRICKET for 50% off your first month of your Sportsflick subscription. All you need to do is go to www.sportsflickglobal.com, and you can also download the app in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Just search for Sportsflick. Well, just a reminder as well to follow us on social media if you don't already, because there is so much happening in the world of European cricket, of course, with this new Sportsflick partnership. But you can also follow us at European Cricket. You can follow me at Mr. Maximo, and you can also download the European Cricket Network app in the App Store of your choice. Well, let's have a look at what's coming your way then from Rome. Like I said, it's a 7-day tournament. We have 2 groups of 4 teams. Monday through Wednesday, we'll see Group A action. Then Group B will start on Thursday and go through Friday and Saturday. Finally, we'll have a Super Sunday of finals action there in Rome to see who will raise the trophy there in Italy. So the first game, like we said, starting at 1:45 PM Indian Standard Time. Well, let's get to this match 1 between Royal Parma and Kingsgrove Milan. And we do have some likely lineups for you. For Royal Parma, they'll be led by the captain Sukhpal Singh, with Harkamal Singh to be their wicketkeeper, while for Kingsgrove Milan, Joy Pereira will be leading them out onto the field, with Sadith Varadaraja to be behind the stumps for them. Well, I got a bit of help for my video today, and particularly to start us off with the form of these 2 teams, I'd like to introduce European Cricket League commentator extraordinaire, Michael McCann. Hi, Michael. How are you going? And I'm looking forward to some cricket coming to you from Rome, Italy.
Hello, Vin. Hello, everyone. Yes, really looking forward to the European Cricket Series being back in Rome. Of course, there was a tournament for a week in Rome at the start of September, but the exciting thing is this is all brand new teams, so none of the same teams from that tournament. So all of these teams getting a chance to be on TV and exposed with the world watching for the first time.
Yeah, it's very exciting, isn't it? So let's talk a bit about these 2 teams, Royal Parma and Kingsgrove Milan. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the form of these 2 teams in the run-up to this series?
Well, Kingsgrove Milan, Vin, are one of my favourites for the tournament alongside Bergamo United. Those 2 look to be the clear strongest teams in Pool A and Pool B respectively. And of course, rightly, it's Pool A that we're focusing on because the first 3 days are all Pool A action. Kingsgrove do look really strong. They've got Joy Pereira, the Italian captain, who interestingly is actually normally only the vice-captain for Kingsgrove, but he'll be stepping up to captain in this situation because of absentees, particularly their regular captain, Torindo Fernando, who's been excellent with bat and ball this season. He'll be a big loss, but this is a team with a lot of depth who are regularly competing at the back end of the big competitions in Italian cricket. It was only 2017, so not that long ago, that they won the Serie A 50-over competition and they won the Coppa Italia T20 Cup, one of the 2 T20 tournaments in Italian cricket. They've had a couple of lean years since, a couple of players leaving, but they're still a very strong side who many have been surprised to see them not make the latter stages of the knockout T20 Cups this season. They actually finished second in both of their groups behind sides that have gone on to dominate Italian cricket. So it wasn't like they were losing to teams that it was particularly shameful to lose to. They lost to ECS Rome winner Gina Brescia in the Coppa Italia, and they lost out to Jandra Brescia in the T20 Championships. And everyone who saw Jandra Brescia in the 2019 ECL will know how strong they are. So that's Kingsgrove Milan. As for Royal Parma, they're a bit of a dark horse, and I quite like the look of them. They were founded in 2018. They're a very young side. They're quite inexperienced, and yet they've taken on a lot of the big guns in Italian cricket in their 3 seasons in existence, and they've toppled them quite a few times. This season in the T20 Championship, they were drawn in an incredibly difficult group. They finished 4th in a 5-team group, but they were behind Brescia and Kings 11, who were the finalists of both T20 competitions this season. We saw those two play those 2 finals on Saturday, where Brescia won both of them. Yeah. And they were also in the same group as Jandra Brescia. So you talk about a bad pool. That really was a dreadful draw for Royal Parma.
Bit of a group of death.
Italia, they finished second behind. Yeah, exactly. It was most of Italy's best teams all in the same pool, and then in the Coppa Italia they finished 3rd, again behind Brescia and Jandra Brescia. So they've kind of been unfortunate in a way that because of the regionalised way the draws are done, you've ended up with one set of pools that have been much stronger than the other, and that's where they've fallen. So I know a lot of people really feel like this is a team that's improving all the time and would be competitive. I would actually place them as favourites to finish second in the group behind Kingsgrove Milan. So this for me is the 2 strongest teams in Pool A.
Right. Well, that's great insight there from ECL commentator Michael McCann. Now let's move along to Mr. Maximo's 11 to watch. And today I have picked out a couple of players for both teams to super highlight. And I'm starting with Royal Parma. I've super highlighted Sukhpal Singh, the captain, as well as highlighting Harkamal Singh, the keeper, as well as Mahmood Javed, the batsman who will probably open the innings. I've got Mehboob Ahmed, the leg spinner, who is in my all-rounder spot, and Rajmani Singh, the other dark horse, perhaps to open the batting and be thrown up there in rounding out my players for Royal Parma. While for Kingsgrove Milan, I've super highlighted their captain. You mentioned him, Bentota Joy Pereira. He's a big hitting opening batsman. I've also got a couple of other batsmen in there, Sami Ullah, as well as Ahmed Raza Amjad. I've got Zahid Chima in there, the all-rounder who you might remember from ECL 19. I've finally got some bowlers for Kingsgrove Milan, Johan Nisa, as well as Nimna Patuwadura. Now, Michael, I've put a few names out there. Is there anyone you want to mention, especially in my 11 to watch today?
Well, Rajmani Singh is the first one that comes to mind because particularly if you're playing fantasy cricket, anyone that can do skills outside of their skill set on the game is useful. Rajmani Singh is listed as a bowler, but he's often used as a pinch-hitting opening batsman to come out in the first 6 overs of a T20 power play, and think of him as sort of Italian domestic cricket's Sunil Narine in this sense. He's a very good spin bowler. He's obviously not quite as good as Sunil Narine, but we're talking about the way he operates in a T20 side. And he's sent out in the power play to show total disregard for his wicket and go and get a quick 30 off 20 balls, or even better if he can. And I would be surprised if they don't continue to use him in that role in T10, with T10 being even shorter and the value of your wicket being even less because of the smaller format. So he could be a particularly useful one to have. It will often get Royal Parma off to a quick start. But I would be focusing my fantasy 11 more towards Kingsgrove Milan. And I know that this is your 11 to watch. If it was mine, I'd be tempted to maybe have a 7th player from Kingsgrove or even an 8th, because I would consider them the heavy favourites for this game. They're 5-1, 5 wins from 6 in T20s this year. Obviously, when you've got an Italian team captain in Joy Pereira, you can't really look past him. Zahid Chima as well has played for Italy a couple of times. Some might sort of, who really know their trivia, remember him as the man who Pavel Florin managed to switch hit.
Yes, of course. Who could forget that?
But it should be said that he's had a fine cricketing career that deserves far more respect than just one moment of Pavel Florin deciding to switch at him. He's a very good fast bowler in his own right. very good at Yorkers, takes a lot of wickets at the death, which again is very valuable and can hit with the bat. So those would probably be the three that I would say are my absolute dead set picks.
Excellent. And who could forget Zahid Chima as well, setting some stumps flying in the European Cricket League back in La Manga in 2019, cartwheeling quite a few batsmen. So we do have some great memories of him. All right, well, it's come down to the business end of things, Michael, and we do have to make a prediction. And I did actually make a prediction. Now, my prediction, no surprises here, was Kingsgrove Milan. I do agree with you, and their form, 5-1 in T20s this year, has been pretty good. So I do think they deserve to start favourites in Group A. So I've put them as my predicted winner, and I've got the star player as Joy Pereira, the Italian captain that you mentioned. Now, do you agree with me, Michael?
Well, I know that we don't always agree, Vin, but on this, we are exactly aligned. I don't think you can look past a national team captain playing, and I don't think you can look past a side that in recent years have been winning domestic honours in Italian cricket in Kingsgrove, Milan. They're deservedly Group A favourites. They're joint, if not favourites, for the whole tournament alongside Bergamo United. I would expect them to win this game, but I think this will be a good barometer of where Royal Parma are at, because they have consistently been pushing these top sides close, and they'll feel like if they can do that again, that will give them confidence going into the two more winnable games in the pool against Royal Roma and Padova. And remember, of course, if they win them, then they get themselves a semi-final spot.
Absolutely. Of course, the top two from each group going through to the semi-finals. Well, thank you very much, Michael McCann. We look forward to your voice joining us on the European Cricket Network this week from Rome.
My pleasure.
I'll say goodbye to you for now. And just a reminder to everybody else, wherever you're watching around the world, of course, you can watch it on Fan Code if you're in the Indian subcontinent. And if not, you can watch it on Sports Flick, the sports streaming service. Don't forget to sign up with promo code CRICKET for 50% off your first month of Sports Flick. And that offer is going through to the 7th of November. But for now, this is Mr. Maximo, Vinny Sandhu for the European Cricket Network saying enjoy the game. We'll see you next time on European Cricket.